and St Pancras in welcoming new members to the House and also in reflecting the positive tone of the debate and the marked contrast that has been with previous debates in the previous Parliament. And can I also join him in congratulating and welcoming back the member for Fareham as a new mum to return her valued contributions to this House. Mr Deputy Speaker, the general election has delivered a clear instruction to this House to leave the European Union. Now Parliament must reflect the will of the country and make good on that democratic decision by backing this bill. This bill is not a victory for one side over another. The time has come to discard the old labels, to move from the past divisions and to come together as one united kingdom. Our country produced a mandate to leave the EU in 2016, but the previous Parliament rejected this time and time again. It has taken a second vote to ensure this mandate to leave is finally honoured. It is clear that the people did know in 2016 what they were voting for after all. Despite this, efforts of those determined not to accept the referendum result, we now have the opportunity in this House to end the delay and to forge a new relationship, both with our neighbours in Europe and indeed within this House. And it is reflecting that spirit that I very much welcome the speech of the member for South Shields, who said she would support the bill in the lobby this evening. Before, Mr Deputy Speaker, turning to the substance of the bill, may I congratulate the member for Belfast South for her very impressive maiden speech. She showed that she will contribute greatly to the work of this House, and her point about reconciliation struck a timely tone. The member for North Down also gave an excellent maiden speech, as indeed did the member for Stirling, who spoke powerfully of his opposition to Brexit, albeit in leaving an EU institution to come here, he has started his own Brexit as we vote on the bill. This bill delivers certainty for our citizens living in Europe and EU citizens living here in the UK by guaranteeing their rights as set out in Part 3 of the bill. It includes an independent monitoring authority which will rightly hold the government to account. There will be a grace period to ensure nobody is left behind in registering for the EU settlement scheme. The bill also protects frontier workers. It recognises professional qualifications and indeed it provides fair rights of appeal. This, Mr Deputy Speaker, is because we value the contribution of EU citizens who have built their lives in our country, and this bill will guarantee their rights to continue to do so.
My honourable friend's right to draw attention to the value that's been given to this country by those who travelled here. But the point about that, as he said when he spoke of accountability, is those decisions should be made by this Parliament, accountable to the British people, and that's why I anticipate our policies on migration, which will now have a chance to effect as a result of the passage of this legislation.
Well, my right honourable friend has always been a champion of the sovereignty of this House, and I will come on to how this bill indeed champions the very sovereignty I know he cares so passionately about. But the bill also unlocks confidence for our businesses by ending the dither and delay, which in turn will unlock huge new investment in our economy, ensuring more and better jobs. And this bill provides control for our Parliament, as indeed my right honourable friend reflects. Clause 1 reinforces the repeal of the Act, which brought European law into the UK. The bill ensures parliamentary scrutiny through the European Scrutiny Committee in Clause 29 and asserts parliamentary sovereignty through Clause 38. And I think the whole House will recognise the work of the member for Stone on this and so many issues reflected in this bill. The very essence of Brexit is that we will no longer outsource our decisions to others in Brussels.
Am I right on refrain give way?
Of course.
I thank my right honourable friend from giving way. We've heard a lot from the members opposite about their fear of bringing those decisions back to the United Kingdom, particularly about workers' rights. Can he absolutely confirm that this government has every intention of protecting and improving the rights of workers in this country? We're overwhelmingly back the Conservatives in this election.
Well, I know my honourable friend is a champion of workers' rights and his constituents, and indeed he will know that not only does the manifesto make that clear commitment, page 5 of the manifesto sets out a clear commitment, but does so in parallel to this bill. Because this bill is about implementing into domestic law the international agreement my right honourable friend the Prime Minister has reached with the EU. But we do not in this House need others to tell us how to protect workers' rights and other rights. And indeed, as my honourable friend well knows, in many areas this Parliament goes further than the EU in the rights it safeguards, not least in areas such as maternity and paternity rights. And I look forward, following the manifesto commitment to high standards, to this House continuing that tradition and maintaining good standards. Of course I will give way.
I thank my right honourable friend for giving way. One of the things that concerns my folks on the Isle of Wight and indeed the South Coast was seeing a super trawler hoovering up about 250 tonnes of fish a day off Shanklin and indeed off Eastbourne. And isn't one of the great benefits of the withdrawal bill and leaving the European Union and getting a new fisheries bill is that we will control our ability to stop super trawlers coming into our seas, which at the moment we're not allowed to do because of our membership of the European Union.
Well, my honourable friend is right. One of the key features of taking back control of our waters is indeed that we in this Parliament will make those decisions. And one of the mysteries that we often feel with the benches opposite is that those in Scotland don't have self-confidence in order to have those decision-making powers, want to give them back to those in Europe. I'll take one more and then make progress, David.
Listening with great interest to what my right honourable friend is saying, but can he also confirm that when we leave the EU we'll have control over our taxes again and we can make decisions on VAT and all the other taxes we want to do?
Well, my honourable friend is right, and indeed if you look what we will do with the control of our taxes, the commitments in our manifesto, and also what this government has already done to raise the amount people can earn before they pay tax, because we believe in backing those who wish to work and provide for their families, and our tax system will do exactly that. Mr Deputy Speaker, along with the terms of our withdrawal, this bill reflects the political declaration which sets out the framework of our future relationship. Now, we need to get on with negotiating on this basis so we can agree our future relationship by the end of the implementation period on 31st December 2020. The Shadow Brexit Secretary referenced Clause 33. Clause 33 reinforces a commitment given by the government in its manifesto not to extend this period. And Part 5 of the political declaration is clear. We are committed to developing in good faith agreements giving effect to our future relationship, the cornerstone of which is a comprehensive free trade agreement by the end of 2020. Now, the Shadow Brexit Secretary said Clause 33 was ridiculous, but it is not ridiculous to act on manifesto commitments that we have given to the electorate. And indeed, it is not ridiculous when the EU themselves, in the political declaration, has agreed to the timetable to the end of December 2020 on which we make that commitment. And indeed, if that was the central concern of the benches opposite, you would have thought that would have been better reflected in talks on earlier deals when the party raised many other objections which underlined the fact that they simply did not want to see Brexit delivered at all. Mr Deputy Speaker, we now have a deal that reflects both the single largest democratic exercise in British history in the referendum and the defining issue of the general election. It is the time to end the delay, to come together and heal our divisions, and above all to listen to the people we serve. The British public have given their instruction. This bill delivers Brexit. I commend this bill to the House.